Hello people, it's Chris in Arena Studio. It's been a while since I've put anything on YouTube. I've been a little bit busy with one or two things. But today I'm back, and today I'm going to chat to you about the Kali Innate version 2 near-field studio monitors, the second wave editions. The monitors are actually in place in the studio now. I've been using them for a couple of weeks. And this is just a quick review, a quick chat about these monitors and what my opinion is of them over the last couple of weeks of using them for mixing and a few mastering projects. This video actually is kindly sponsored by the collection by Michael Miller. He's bought the studio the speakers, which is a very generous thing for him to do. He's a client in Arena Studio, so check out the collection by Michael Miller for any of your heating requirements and you'll see exactly what he's all about. Okay, so straight to the video. The Kali Innate second wave near field studio monitor. It uses a coaxial architecture on the mid-range and the tweeter, which basically means that if we look at the mid-range and the tweeter there, the tweeter is actually seated in the mid-range speaker, which gives it this real good, solid, I find, from using these over the last couple of weeks, really good, solid stereo image. It's literally a step up, quite a step up from general sort of two speaker options with a driver and a tweeter. So for me, straight away, the stereo image has been vastly improved since using these. They are 140 watts tri-amped, which is 60, 40 and 40, 60 in the driver, mid-range 40 and 40 in the tweeter, which is great. And the connections on the back are XLR, as you can probably tell I'm reading this, XLR 6.3 balanced and an RCA unbalanced connection, as well as the XLR cable. So for me, using the Apollo X16s in the studio, it's literally two XLR cables straight out into the back, job done. And so far, very impressed. The weight of each speaker is 10.4 kilograms, so not too heavy, but solid enough. And it gives a really good aesthetic look in the studio as well. So many people have commented actually on the little blue dot of a light on the front there, which seems to be very popular with everybody. Okay, now it's got a selection of dip switches on the back, and these are on there to help set sort of boundary dynamic sort of settings in your room. If your room isn't brilliantly treated, then you can, depending on where you position, close to a wall, near to a wall, you can set these little dip switches to enhance things a little bit for you, which is quite a useful thing. I've tried them in several positions in this studio and in different parts of the room when I was setting the monitoring system up with them, and again, very stable, very true representation of a lot of the mixes that I've played through it that I've done years ago over. Some have been done on cheap tannoy reveals, some have been done on NS10s, etc. So a wide range. I wouldn't stipulate just using these monitors, these near-field monitors, the Kali Innates, for just one job. I always monitor my mid-range through sort of NS10 style speakers, or NS10s if you've got some of those. Maybe I always also dip things into mono, so you've got to use it, and headphones, so I still use them as part of my monitoring process when I'm mixing and mastering in the studio. Normally I like to use sort of 3 sets of speakers, a cheap, really harsh speaker for my mid-range, where I literally just chop off everything from sort of 250 to maybe 6K, monitor all the mid-range like that. But for full range, the Kali Innate version 2s, the Innate second wave version 2s, are just stunning. I love the bass response. It's very solid, very precise as well, which is what I like about them. You know, it's just a good representation of where your low end is at in your mix. The mids, smooth and very controlled, and the attention to detail in this is a massive step up. I've used speakers over the years in different studios, a lot more expensive, and I would pitch these Kali Innate version 2s, the second waves, in a far more expensive bracket than where they are. They're normally ranging, I've seen them as cheap as sort of £300 up to sort of £350 each. So you're talking £700 to maybe £600–800 for a pair. Is it worth it? Well, for me, the high end I thought had a nice sheen, nothing brittle. Now I suffer from a little bit of tinnitus from doing this forever. So for me, I'm very, very aware of the high end on a lot of things. And I find that these are very forgiving and just do not really fatigue and cause issues with my tinnitus over long durations, because I'm using these 8-9 hours a day. So I'm very critical of what I work with and how I use it. Low response, low, you know, when I'm sort of not pushing them too hard, great. When you wallop them out, whoa, have these got some sort of kick and substance to them? So they're a really good set of near-field monitors. Overall, great value for money, ideal for mixing in any home studio, and I would say any semi-pro project studio or pro studio as well. They're a great asset to anything. So check them out if you can. Big thank you once again to The Collection by Michael Miller for sponsoring this video. The Kali In8s, second wave or version 2s. For me, in a score out of 10, I would give them a 10 out of 10. I just think they're excellent value, and the reproduction from them, and again, the thing that I've noticed more than anything is the stereo field with this coaxial architecture that they use. It just gives me more attention to detail in the bass, the mids and the highs. So 10 out of 10, big tick to Kali Audio. Love them, and I'm going to be using them very, very soon. Please like and subscribe to the channel. You know how it works by now, and I'll see you very soon with one or two other bits and bobs, as we've got some more kit coming into the studio. And I'll be back on the tuition as soon as is possible. So from me, Chris, stay safe, stay well, and keep on rocking in the free world.